And I don't know if it's gonna let me play it because this is hooked up to my cars. Okay, I was trying to play my song by Nas, Just a Moment. But for some, you know how on an iPhone, if you playing one music source and you start playing another, to cut the other music source off. So I guess that's not gonna work in the car, at least anyway. So, I definitely have some videos to make. Of course, I didn't finish my readings. Sue me for May. And I have a video I want to make just about how to handle people in times of conflict. But it's too early in the motherfucking morning for me to get into that right now. So I just wanted to shortly say that I have a theory about gladiators and warriors and boxers that I find interesting. Well, it's not an official theory yet, but I'm working towards a theory. And if anybody has any comments or any ideas or any insight, put it below and let me know. So my theory is, okay, so I'm in love. I'm absolutely in love with the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. I mean, he's just so fine. And, I'm in love with him. I've been in love with him since like the first time I seen him. The accent, the personality, I'm just in love, and it's something about, I have a thing. I'm a tall female, like 5'10" and a half, so I'm a tall female, and I have a thing. Usually I'm slim, sometimes I'm not, but I have a thing for like tall guys. I'm not really into like the big Debo muscular. I've never been into that. I've never been into the gym rats. Usually my type was just like kind of tall and skinny, so like 6 feet over and slim or whatever. And I had dated guys shorter than me, but like for relationships, I like taller guys because I like to be able to put on a heel and stuff like that. So I'm just in love with like that body type, and I think he's very, very attractive, Deontay Wilder. And I like his personality. And as far as accents, like the London, UK accent, the country, like that North Carolina, South Carolina, NOLA, Texas, even a little bit of Florida. I love those accents. Those are like some of my favorite. And then the Jamaican, the patois. Those are like my favorite accents. So he has like that. I think he's from Alabama, so he has like a real country accent or whatever the case. So I just been in love with Deontay Wilder. I don't know why he had to get that girl and have that baby when it should have been me. He ain't met me yet. So anyway, I have a thing for men with that body type. So my boo thing, my little boo thing, he was telling me, oh, you be on Deontay Wilder, have you checked out? Because we were talking about boxing. Boxing is my favorite sport. I used to watch boxing, basketball, all that stuff with my dad growing up. When a lot of people see me, they ask me, well, did you play sports in high school? Did you play basketball? Did you play volleyball? Did you run track? And stuff like that. But I was a tomboy, but I was still very girly. So sports were never really my thing ever. So not organized sports. And then I'm not like a team person. I've never been into doing things as teams and groups. I probably would have played the sport, but I don't know. I've just never been a team person. So he was saying, we were talking about boxing or whatever the case, and he was showing me Anthony Joshua. He was like, oh, you don't like Anthony Joshua? And I didn't really know who Anthony Joshua was, which goes to show you how much I've been following boxing as of lately. So if it wasn't Mayweather, what the fuck did it matter? And now it's bronze bomber, So anyway, I was like, nah. So he pulled up a video. We was watching some of the fight clips because, boxing is big in America. It is. But I don't think boxing gets like the credit and the attention. To me is like the best sport. I don't think I would put any sport above boxing. I like I like baseball. Like if I had to pick, I would say boxing then baseball. I've had a lot of friends, like Hispanic, Latino friends and African friends or friends from other countries that like the football, and I haven't been able to get into it yet. Not because it's not a good sport. I'm sure it's very good. I think that's like one of the most popular sports in the world, like internationally outside of the Americas. Not, and I'm talking about soccer, not our version of football, but what the rest of the world basically calls football. So, excuse me, I gotta ball up some papers. It's gonna be a little noisy. So I haven't really been able to get into that, but I would say boxing is my favorite sport, and then baseball, and then probably, I don't know, a tie between football and basketball. So I was like, no, I haven't really checked them out. And, you know, boxing is super huge in the UK. I don't think boxing gets the attention that it deserves in the United States. This is going to get to the zodiac aspect. Guys, I promise I'm going to stop making all this noise. Let me just go in the house. We're going to get to the zodiac aspect. It's going to tie into this because I have a question. It's like my little theory I'm working on. But I got to do more research. But I just found it a little interesting. And I wanted to talk to you guys. So anyway, boxing it's not as big here as it used to be, like during the days of Ali, Tyson, Holyfield, all of those kind of guys. Now it's big. Like I think Floyd Mayweather have brought like a lot of other popularity and stuff back to boxing, but I just don't think that boxing gets the credit that it deserves. Like the men that box, that's just a true fucking gladiator to me, and it takes a lot of skill, you know, when you're boxing. So, and like I said, my dad used to order all the fights, my dad and my uncles and stuff, and I would be right there with them. So, I haven't been following it, you know, like I used to, but of course, Deontay Wilder kind of revived my interest, and then you had Gervonta Davis and stuff like that. He's from Baltimore. Shout out, my girlfriend just went up to the fight in New York a couple weeks ago, so it kind of got my eyes really back on boxing now. So he was showing me Anthony Joshua and everything like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I know. Because boxing it gets much more respect to me in the UK than it does in the US. Well, I guess not just to me, but like that's what my friend was telling me and everything like that. So he was showing me Anthony Joshua. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's okay. And, you know, showing me a couple of his boxing clips. And was like, you think Deontay Wilder looks better than Anthony Joshua or whatever case? And I was like, yeah, it's just something about Deontay to me. I like that he's rough around the edges, but he's very humble and respectful to me. Like, I really like that about Deontay Wilder. So I was looking at, you know, that conversation passed. Never really thought nothing else about Anthony Joshua, but you hear the name in boxing circles, and when people talk about boxing, of course, you hear Anthony Joshua. So I was coming back on my flight, and I was watching some of the, not the 30 for 30s, but you know how they do special looks inside a boxing tournament to kind of take you inside of that person's camp, show you what's going on with that person, and what have you. So they had one on Anthony Joshua, and I was like, oh, I remember my friend telling me about him. Let me go ahead and watch Anthony Joshua. So I turned on a video. I'm telling y'all, oh my God, I am in such a love triangle dilemma, because by the end of that video, I was in love with Anthony Joshua too. Not only is he I really didn't think he looked all that until I really watched it and heard him start speaking. To me, he's very similar. I was thinking like how his personality to me, I'm sure it's completely different. I haven't seen him enough to really judge or really know, but just judging off like the 30-minute program, 40-minute program I was watching on him, I think his personality, it was kind of sort of reminiscent of Deontay Wilder's to me. Like Anthony Joshua was very humble, probably way more humble than Deontay Wilder. And I already feel like Deontay Wilder is humble. He's confident in what he does. I think some people get that mixed up. But everything I've seen of Deontay Wilder, he has a heart, you know what I mean? And he's humble. But Anthony Joshua just is so much more humble. And I mean, he looks like he has a heart of gold. Like, I don't know the man personally, but his soul just like spoke in that interview. So I'm not just talking about the looks. I'm talking about the man. Like, listening to Anthony Joshua will speak, anybody will fall in love. Like, he just has that kind of spirit about him. But, you know, outside of listening to him speak, I was looking at him and I was like, God damn, he fine as fuck. What did I not see when my friend was showing me the video? Because Anthony Joshua, now that's the kind of man, if he was my man, he could have that's a fucking king. That is a gladiator. That is a warrior. You can have all the women you want, baby. Just respect me, and I'm going to be the number one queen. You can have all the concubines you want, because a man like that, he has the body of a fucking god. A man like that deserves to have any woman he wants to fucking have. As long as I could be your main woman and have all your babies, you can have who you want to have. So that's how much in love and how much of a love dilemma I'm having between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua completely like stole my heart. And if they fight, I just don't know what I'm going to do, because I will be so torn. I just don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, now that I got all of that out the way, the point of this is to say, remember I was saying their personalities were a little similar to me. I just saw something. So, of course, I go. Now, I already knew Deontay Wilder's birthday. Like I told you, if anything captures me about a person, or I'm interested in you, like even 1%, I'm gonna find out what your zodiac sign. I think people should have it tattooed on their head, so people don't have to guess. You should just have it on your forehead. We should go through life with our zodiac signs on our forehead. So it's like, oh well, let me go see what Anthony Joshua's sign is, and it's funny that they're the same zodiac sign. And I told you I saw a similarity that I really can't explain, because their personalities are not the same. But when I saw the zodiac sign, I was like, damn, I'll be on point. So they're the same zodiac sign. And it led me to look up some other signs, because I know this particular zodiac sign, they kind of like to fight. So let me just say what the zodiac sign was. The zodiac sign is Libra. So Deontay Wilder is a Libra, but he's on a Scorpio cusp. I think he's like the very last day. He's either the day before the last day or like the very last day of Libra. So he's a Scorpio cusp, but he falls in Libra. Anthony Joshua is Libra. I believe he's like October 15th. So really no question about that. And then I was like, well, and I could see with the Libra signs being cardinal, like Mike Tyson was a Cancer. Shout out Cancers. Mike Tyson was a Cancer. So, he's a cardinal sign as well. So I was like, well, are there a lot of Libra boxers that have been successful? I wonder what it is about either maybe the cardinal signs or that Libra. And I have to bring Scorpio into it, because Gervonta Davis, he's a Scorpio, but it was more so Libra, because I was just feeling like, it's a coincidence these two top boxers are Libras. I wonder I'm wondering, like, what's the association behind that, especially with Venus being a ruler. I was wondering, what goes into, are there other really good boxers who are Libras? So I was looking up, different boxers. Of course, you guys know, or if you don't, Floyd Mayweather is a Pisces, which is funny because Venus is exalted in Pisces. So that's a connection back to Libra, because Venus rules Libra. And I looked up Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield was a Libra. Mike Tyson is not a Libra. Like I said, he's a Cancer, but he's a cardinal sign. As you guys know, Libra is cardinal, so they start things. Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn will be your cardinal signs. And but Muhammad Ali was a Capricorn. So I feel like I'm working on some sort of theory. I'm tying like that real fighter spirit, that gladiator, warrior type energy to the cardinal signs, and more specifically signs that may be associated with Venus. So I can't really say Taurus. I haven't found any. I didn't do enough research to find ones that are Taurus. I'm just tapping the surface of it, and I found it interesting. But of course, Venus ruling Libra. So I was tying in, and I can't quite tell you where the Scorpio comes in. Like I said, Deontay Deontay Wilder is on a Scorpio cusp. Gervonta Davis is a Scorpio. So I'm going to look more into this, but I just found it interesting that I'm seeing several very successful boxers that were Libras. And I know just from having Libras in my family, growing up with male Libras, they can definitely be scrappers. They can definitely be fighters. My two brothers, who are a year older than me, they fought. They were always fighting. And look at somebody like a T.I. Like, even if they're not physically fighting, cardinal signs, you can't like push a cardinal sign around. Of course, this is general. They may have other things in their chart, but you can't just like push a cardinal sign around, because a cardinal sign is born leader. You know what I mean? Yeah, they may have some other things in their chart that weaken that, but they like take initiative. They're gonna be like the stand up kind of person most of the time. So when you look at a lot of Libras, you will see they're combative, or like it's not just smooth to get along with. And you may see that with the cardinal signs, period. Like, they don't just always go along to get along. Maybe Cancer does the most out of them all, but they always have sort of like an antagonist energy with them. And Libra definitely does. When I tell you, my brothers, like, I mean, I'm exaggerating if I say they were fighting every other day, but that's just how much they fought. Like, they fought. They even would pick on my female friends and like bully my female friends. I remember one time they dragged, I have a cousin. She's not my blood cousin, but I've known her since before I was born because I'm our best friends. But I remember one time they dragged her down my front yard, like literally by her arm. She was in a dress looking real cute, had her little sandals on. I mean, some of my friends were being scared to come to my house because they knew the two Libras, and then they're twins, so it's two boys. They knew them Libras were going to torture them. And it wasn't like a evil, they were beating up my friends or anything like that, or beating up people. It was like a mischievous, crazy ass Libra thing. Like, and I couldn't do anything with laugh. They never did it to me because I was their sister. But my friends would be like, your brother's there? You know what I'm saying? Because they knew them Libras was going to torture that ass. So, yeah, like one funny story. Now, I remember this guy. I used to have a crush. I was in the 9th grade. And I used to have a crush on like this fine ass Rico Suave. He was either in the 11th or 12th grade, not knowing, well, I'll say that part. He was like in 11th, 12th grade, and he lived down the street from me. So I had a little crush on him, and I don't know how we got to talk. That boy was so fine. I don't know how we got to talking. It probably because a group of us were walking home, whatever the case, where we got to talking, and you know, he ended up liking me or whatever, and he would come to my house and sit on my porch. Now, at that time, we would come home from school. This is, like I said, I was in the 9th grade. So this was like the first year of high school for me. But like I said, he was in the 11th or the 12th. And so we would like either get home from school, you know, a group of kids hang out in a neighborhood. So my dad didn't get home from work until like 5 o'clock or something like that. And I think back then school used to let out at 3. So me and my brothers would walk home. We would be home. And the instruction was, you know, you guys can't have anybody in here. Nobody's to come in here while I'm gone. So the guy who lived down the street, he would come and he would like sit on the porch and we would talk. Like we kissed and stuff like that. But we never went any further than that. Now, my brothers are a year older than me, like I said. So I was in the 9th grade. They went in the 10th grade. So they had already been at that high school for 2 years. So they knew, you know, they were very popular. I was very popular. They knew all the guys and stuff like that. So I didn't know that the guy that was coming to talk to me on the porch had a girlfriend. And actually, his girlfriend was somebody I was cool with. She was a sweet as pie. Her name was Dana. She was sweet as pie. Me and Dana, like, we weren't close friends or anything, but it was definitely like a high and by little conversation here and there. Like I said, she was sweet as pie. So I didn't know that was his girlfriend. But my brothers must have known, okay, he's a player or he has girlfriend, so they just did not like him. They didn't care how much I liked him. They didn't like him. So, and they was like, oh, they had already told me, don't mess with him. We don't like him, whatever. So I was like, man, go. Ain't nobody listening. I'm going to mess with who I want to mess with. Fuck out of here, right? Because I'm a Cancer. They're Libras. That's that cardinal energy. If you listen to my other video, like I told you, my Aquarius cousin used to make us fight all the time. Like, we were just like a terrible threesome. We used to go in the stores, terrorize the stores. My mother and her twin used to say, when we used to take y'all to the store, they'd be like, oh God, here comes those two twins and that little girl. Because we were crazy. Like Libra and Cancer can, cardinal signs can do some amazing things together. We would tear shit up. So I was like, I ain't listening to them. Who they think they talking to? I might be younger, but fuck them. I'm gonna talk to them. So we sitting on a porch one day, and my brothers were in the house. We sitting on a porch. When I tell you, I don't know what happened. All I know is I saw my front door open. And I saw a big ass bucket of water hit this boy in the face and all over his clothes and everything. And I just saw the door slam. When I tell you, I probably laughed so hard, I peed on myself. And that boy was so embarrassed and so mad. He ain't know what to do. What did he do? I even went in the house because I was like, why y'all do that? And then when I opened the door, the boy ran in my house, got eggs out my refrigerator, and he was trying to egg my brothers. But for whatever reason, he couldn't catch them because I can remember he put the eggs like under a plant in my porch. Like my parents had plants on the porch. So I think he put it under a pot, because he was either going to get them later or whatever. For whatever case, after he had chased them around and around the house and he never caught them, he was soaking wet. I mean, they took a big ass, them big ass buckets your parents used to use back in the day to mop the floor. It was filled to the top with water. I will never forget this. You just imagine you sitting there talking to your crush, your fine ass crush who think he the shit. You think he the shit. And the door just opened and a bucket of water just go flying on him. My God, that shit was crazy. And I remember that boy left them eggs in the plant because me and my Sagittarius homegirl came, like the next day we were sitting on a porch or something, and it was smelling real bad, like 2 or 3 days later. And we looked under the plants, and damn maggots from the eggs he left in there were in the plants. So anyway, I done ran on with story time. But the point being, I'm going to look more into this about Libras having a warrior spirit, because I found that very coincidental that both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are Libras, and Evander Holyfield is a Libra. Mike Tyson is a Cancer, that's a cardinal sign. Floyd Mayweather is a Pisces. Venus, who rules Libra, is exalted in Pisces. I can't tie the Scorpio in just yet. Let me think on that a little bit more. With Scorpio, I'm probably not surprised with Mars kind of being, strong for a Scorpio. To me, I think Mars is definitely strong for a Scorpio. It is the strong energy for a Scorpio, not just the Aries, but for a Scorpio as well. So that's just my little theories. And if you have any comments, if you're a guy and you're listening and past boxes, or any boxes and their zodiac signs, and you have more that are Libras, Pisces, and y'all know Pisces can get crazy, so I'm not even surprised. Pisces, Cancer, and Muhammad Ali was the Capricorn. I believe he was a Capricorn. That, like I said, that's a cardinal sign. So I'm just working on that, like this Libra, Venus, cardinal sign thing. Scorpio, I can't quite tie in yet. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And I'm out of here. Madam X, Frequency Radio. Deuces, nigga. Okay, I was trying to play my song.